Hello, guys. I'm Greg. This is Stephanie. This is our podcast, Living in Key West. We are both real estate agents here in the Florida Keys. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you've ever thought about getting property down here, maybe a little slice of paradise. Stephanie.
Yeah.
My better half. What is up? What is up with that?
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee.
What is up? Well, I feel like I can't believe it's only like 1 o'clock. I don't know why. Today felt so long.
We had a long night.
We had a long night.
But if you told me it was 6 o'clock tonight,
I know.
I would say, well, we missed our painting class and it's time for bed.
Good night. Yeah. It's actually kind of looking a little cloudy outside. Every time it's cloudy, I get so excited because I think, ooh, is it going to storm? Because it has been so long. There were a little storms. Like if you follow anything on like Key West weather or anything, like the Key West Weather Service posted some photos last week that were sent in to them of some like water spouts because we had this evening. Gosh, I don't know. Was it Wednesday evening maybe?
I don't know.
It was.
What's today?
I think it was because I think it was before we did our tour. I'm pretty sure, but it was like Wednesday evening. I think
it might have been right after our tour.
It could have been. It could have been Thursday evening. I don't know, but there was this really dark storm that we saw coming in, like kind of north of Key West, and we saw it coming, and we thought, oh, it's going to be like this big like weather event or something. And for us, it wasn't anyways. We got like a really bizarre, like very short-lived downpour.
That rain knocked us from the number one driest quarter to the number two.
Oh.
That little amount of rain.
It was so little. So, I mean, it looked very dramatic and you thought it was going to be something. And then like you see like all these reports of like water spouts and stuff. I think it was like much more impactful seemingly over the water or, maybe somewhere else, but not here in Key West. But yeah, we didn't really get much rain, especially where we are. So anyways, I'm saying all that to say I'm looking out the window and it's looking a little,
gloomy,
a little dark. And so you kind of get excited about that and then it passes. But yeah, so still pretty dry in these parts.
Usually I think I saw where we averaged about 4.5 for the quarter.
Inches.
And 4.5 inches. And we got like,
not even an inch, right? Was it?
No, not even close to an inch.
Yeah. It was extreme. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's sunny and beautiful, and there are days where it's very breezy and everything's blooming, and like we have this frangipani that I'm looking at outside. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very much spring here on the island.
Today's hot.
Starting to feel like summer.
Today was a hot day.
Yeah, it was very hot.
This is not us complaining.
No. It would be lovely to get some rain, but gosh, it's beautiful regardless. So yeah, so it's been pretty dry here. Maybe we'll get a little bit of rain.
We'll see. So that is one thing that we did do this week. We went to the weather station here.
We did.
And we toured that, which was pretty cool.
The National Weather Service.
What, every Tuesday or Thursday?
It's every Tuesday or every Tuesday and Thursday from 11 to 12. And you have to like fill out this little form on their website. And then they'll email you back and let you know if they can do it. Yeah.
Sounds like a process.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's a little clunky, but.
So we did that. Mm-hmm. That was on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I went fishing
Monday,
Tuesday and Wednesday. And that was a lot of fun on a absolutely beautiful boat.
Oh my gosh.
A 35 Invincible.
That's like.
It's one of the better boats I've ever been on.
It's probably the best boat I have ever been on. But it's what I like about it is how comfortable it is.
Yeah, and it's very wide.
Yes. There's like you can very comfortably walk around. I feel like on a lot of boats it's like you feel like when you get all the gear on there and you have people on there, it's like you try to walk but you got to kind of walk sideways or you're just like squishing it everywhere.
Not on this one.
No. I mean, so much floor space. Yeah. Room for activities.
Yeah, plenty of activities.
Plenty of activities, yeah.
Plenty, front or back.
Absolutely.
Our sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
But went fishing on Tuesday. It was a little rough. It was maybe 2 to 3. Maybe in the very beginning of the morning, it was maybe some 3 to 4s. Boat handled it very well, but I do get seasick. Well, I did take a Dramamine. I was kind of on the cusp, but it never really took control, which was good. I was able to fish a little bit. We caught, I think, 3 Cero mackerels, which we ate one of them and tasted
Very
delicious.
Very good. Mm-hmm.
Then we have a couple more bags that we can eat that we freeze up. And then Wednesday we went out and it was absolutely beautiful. A day you wish of if you're coming here for fishing. We went out off of Marathon. We limited out on yellowtail mackerel, and some of them were very nice size. Once again, especially for like off of Marathon, and yeah, so it was a blast. It was fun.
You saw a shark too.
Saw a big old shark, probably a tiger shark.
I'm only saying that's not because it's like, oh my gosh, you never see sharks. You see sharks all the time, but you said this one was...
It was massive.
Huge.
Yeah, and it was just cruising through
Well,
the ball of yellowtail that was sitting in the back, and just... I had a fish on at the time, but he didn't really go after my fish. He just kind of like swam through. I think we were in maybe 60 feet of water. It was... my guess is it was probably a big tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, if you don't know, because Greg was telling me about that, and if you go online, you can go to, because he made sort of a joke, but sort of not a joke, because like no,
there's no joke.
Were there four of you on the boat, right? And you guys were all kind of like, that was either like a huge tiger shark or like could have been like a juvenile great white, like because of the size of it. And
we didn't get like a great look at it because it kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and you were distracted.
And we had a fish on, so it was kind of like couldn't get a great look at it.
But if you guys Google like great white tracker, they put trackers on great whites, and then you can go on the websites and it'll say like the last pings. And if you look, I mean, they do cruise by the Keys, so like Absolutely. It's not unheard of or crazy to think like you possibly could have interacted with one. And we can't say for sure that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't one that's tagged that pinged close to Key West. The last close ping to Key West that I saw on the website I was looking at was like in 2018.
But
very
for that
close.
For it to even ping, it has to be tagged, which means it has to be caught or seen and be able to tag it.
Right. So I'm just saying, I think if there is one that is tagged that has pinged in this area, clearly they're cruising around in this area. So for everyone you see, there's like 100 you don't, right?
Yep.
So just because that one's tagged. But anyway, so I'm saying that to say it could have been a great white. Could have been a great white. So
I think it was a tiger, but it could have been.
Yeah.
Never know.
You never know. So that's cool.
Yeah. So did some fishing. So we got plenty of fish to eat now.
Yeah.
We're actually going to have a little bit of a later lunch because we are going to Mangoes today for a painting class.
Yes.
Which should be a lot of fun.
Yes, it's called A Paint and Sip with Frida Strokes.
Yep.
So it's upstairs. There's like an upstairs area at Mangoes, and it's like one of those where, you have a little cocktail and you can order appetizers, and then they teach you how to
kind of like a sip and paint.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. I've never done one of those before.
Nor have I.
Yeah, I've always kind of wanted to, but never have. But that's
cool. I
cool.
think we had fun doing our other art that we did a couple weeks ago.
Oh, our collage art. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so it'll be fun to experience this one, like doing art in a different setting. So we did like art at the studios to feel like what that was like, and then do something like this. I think this one will probably be a little more like, I don't know, less like, this sounds weird, but like less art focused, like less focused on the art, but kind of less of a, like a formality maybe or something. I don't know. Not to say Michael's was formal or anything, but I think it'll just be a different vibe. So I'm excited about that. I think that would be really fun.
I think it'll be fun.
Well, I think we should talk more about the National Weather Service tour and some of the stuff that we like learned and experienced and all that. So the National Weather Service has different offices, and there is one here in Key West, which makes a lot of sense, right? It's a very cool building. It's there on White Street. So they moved there. I think he said in 2005 they relocated to that building, and it's a really nice building.
Yeah,
it's a very nice building. Like the architecture of it's very cool. And so when you go inside, there's like a lobby, and so it was us, and then there were 3 other like parties of people that were like on our tour. It felt a little like maybe a smidge too many.
Yeah, it could have
people.
cut off a group, I think.
Yeah, I think 3 groups would have been, because although the building looks large, when you go in, the lobby is a little on the small side.
And most of the tour takes place in the lobby.
Yeah,
it's really just him kind of talking a little bit about the history of it, and people asking questions, and then you go into like their, I'm gonna call it like their war room,
like kind of their command center,
center, and then you go in there for just a little bit, and then you go back out into the lobby. So probably could have cut down the last group that came in.
Yeah, definitely. But I actually really liked it. I didn't really know what to expect. I think I was anticipating there being more of a tour, like, it feels like it's this big building and you're going to walk through and like see all this stuff, and you didn't. But I didn't feel any sense of like, I was disappointed or anything, because really, like, I was excited to kind of learn about specifically what they do there and like some of the different things, and like, just because, I mean, like we've said a million times, we are kind of weather nerds, so to get to like see what they're actually doing there. So they are a 24/7 operation. There's always someone, there's always people on call there.
And then when there's a tropical storm or any forecast like that, they're like
all hands on deck.
Yeah.
And they really, they hunker down there. So if there is a storm, they do not evacuate. They stay there. So the building itself is rated up to 165,
I think.
Okay, so that's a category 5. So it's rated up to 165, but they have.
I think I remember it was built in 05.
It's built in 05, right? If it was built now, it would be rated high. I'm sure
185 or
one. Yes, but they have an inner room within the building, which is kind of like a. It's kind of like a hallway where the bathrooms are, and that's like actually that not surprising, because like if you think about like in Tornado Alley, they always say like go to an innermost room, and like typically you want to be somewhere like, I think like with the bathtub and plumbing and things like that. There's just something about that makes it like more like safe if you're evacuating. So anyways, wasn't really surprising, but it's sort of the area where they have the bathrooms, where that door you can close and bolt. And that can withstand winds up to 225 miles per hour.
It was 55.
255? Either way. That's insane. Those are not wind speed numbers that have ever been clocked here. So if it was like a really bad category 5 and they were there, they actually would
probably all hunker down in that.
They have a shelter inside the shelter that would, be able to house them for that. So, a couple of other things that we learned were they send up weather balloons. They physically send them up twice a day. Now that the time change has happened, it's 7 and 7. Before the time change happened, it was 6 and 6. But they have these large biodegradable weather balloons that have like this electronic device attached to them that they go up to the roof, and they launch this balloon, and it physically goes like up into the atmosphere, and then it sends back atmospheric data to a satellite that they have there on the roof of the building. And that's the information that they use to develop their weather models and give us predictions here, like locally, and also share information with, other weather stations. Like there's one in Miami. I think how many do you say there were in Florida?
Like 5 or 6.
Okay. Yeah. There's like Pensacola, Miami,
Tallahassee,
like all across the state. So they also share their data, because if you're predicting the weather in the Keys, you're not just looking at the weather here, you're looking at the weather patterns even like globally, because that all affects what's going on here. So I thought that was really interesting that they still, like this day and age, they physically go up to the roof and they launch a balloon up into the atmosphere, and
25,000 feet up.
Yes, 25,000 feet up. And he said that a lot of places, like in, the middle United States or something, or like even, I'm sure somewhere kind of closer to the middle of the state of Florida, they will get a lot of their sensors back, their electronic sensors that they send up with the balloon, because they just fall back to Earth, and then someone finds them and returns them, and they're able to basically send them back to the manufacturer to be refurbished and used again. But because we're in the Keys, they don't. A lot of them fall into the ocean. But if they do fall back to Earth, they do come back. They are returned to the weather station and sent back to the manufacturer to be refurbished. So I thought that was very cool. But the balloons and anything that they can other than the actual electronic device, basically everything possible is biodegradable. So the balloon is biodegradable, all of that stuff. So they've made it as safe as they can.
And Stephanie's going to do a video about it.
Yes. I got a bunch of
And I'll put one out on YouTube too.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. And then they also still, in front of their building, they use flags to denote significant weather. So they have like the triangle flag that almost looks like a oh gosh, what are those called? Like the college pendants, like pendant, like a pendant. So if there's like a what is that called? The yellow one. It was going to be because of 6 to 7 foot seas.
Small craft
advisory. Yes. I don't know why I was blanking on that. Small craft advisory. They have the yellow flag that they'll put out. And then if there's a tropical storm, they just do one of the red flags, one of the red tropical flags. Isn't that what it was? And then if it's a hurricane, they do the 2 of them. So that's why, like, when you go in, and I have footage of this, they have hanging up, they have, is it Irma and Wilma? They have so there's 4 hurricane flags that they have hanging up in the lobby when you go in. And 2 of them are from Irma because they put 2 flags out for hurricane.
Yep.
And then 2 of them for, I think it might have been Wilma. It'll be in my video, but I thought that was really cool too, that those were the 2 flags that were physically flying in front of the building when Irma came through. So I think that, again, you feel like everything's digital, everything's electronic, everything's online, everything's whatever, but still, even today, they're physically sending balloons up into the atmosphere and they're flying flags in front of their building to alert people to the weather that's happening, essentially. So I thought that was kind of cool to have those sort of like historic, I don't know, this kind of a holdover, I think, a little bit. So very cool. But I mean, it's just people working in a building. I mean, they're just like committed to weather and they're just sitting there like analyzing the data and trying to do their best. And like, I just appreciate the work that they do. I mean, I think there's so much of an art and a science to all of it, and it's fascinating. Oh, what was the other thing? This was the other thing that I thought was really cool. So you'll notice a lot of times, I don't know, maybe I noticed it. Yeah, I guess I did notice it in Gainesville, but sometimes, you look up in the sky and you see like dark clouds and you're like, is it supposed to storm? And you look on the radar and there's nothing on the radar and you're like, what the heck? How is there nothing?
It does like do a quick rain or something.
Yeah. And you're like, there was literally nothing on the radar. So someone asked him about that. Justin was our tour guide's name. Someone asked him about that. And he was saying that a lot of times if it's too close to the satellite, or it's just not like tall enough into the atmosphere that it just doesn't get picked up by the radar. And so it's like that was fascinating to me too. Yeah. And I did some footage while we were there because we were literally standing right next to the satellite, literally right next to it. And there was a huge dark storm cloud right over us. And then I pulled up the radar and sure as shit, there was nothing on the radar. Nothing. But there's this huge dark storm cloud right over us. And I was like, oh, that's so fascinating. Yeah. Like, we're right at where the radar is. We're right at the National Weather Service office. And you don't see anything, but your eyes are literally looking at it and seeing it. So I think it's fascinating, again, to be in this day and age and to see that there are still these sort of, I don't know, blind spots or like, as good as they are, there's still these little like things that, Mother Nature and weather and all of that. I think it's very much a science, but for as much science as there is, there's always going to be sort of that art and that interpretation that's really important.
Yeah, which they have to do.
Absolutely. And that was another thing they were talking about too, was the, like if you're familiar with tropical weather, maybe you would be familiar in other contexts as well. I'm not sure because, tropical weather is just top of mind for us. But if we have anything happening in the tropics, a lot of times you'll see, a cone and you'll see different paths. And you're like, why are there like 10 different paths, that are shown on this map? Well, it's because they're all being generated out of different models. So like the Euro model, right? The GFS model. I mean, there's so many different models and they're all mathematical models essentially. And they're basically, they give different weight to different things. Like, I don't know, I'm just going to make something up. Like one weighs the jet stream more heavily. One weighs, whatever, cold front, I don't know. Yes. And so those different things being weighted in different ways obviously affects the end result, the outcome, which would be, the path of the storm. And so that was another thing that he talked about a little bit and people were asking about, which was like, why, which model's the best? And it's like, there's not one. I mean, you could put all of them into one big equation and average them out, and get the best of all of them, but then you're missing some nuance that this one has that this one doesn't have. And so I think it's just fascinating to think about, as much as it is a math and as much as it is a science, like there is that certain like art to interpreting it and using your humanity and your knowledge and your experience to say, well, this is what the model says, but, and you know who I think is actually really good at that? Mike. From Mike's weather page.
Yeah.
Because all of these meteorologists are looking at the exact same models, right? It's like if you and I were both looking at,
and maybe Mike's really good at it because he doesn't have that
the training,
actual training. That's like a doctor not being able to think outside of their training.
No, you're so right.
He's just very passionate about it, so he can almost think outside the box a little bit.
No, you're so right.
A path that he thinks it might take, and not to say that he's right all the time.
No. Maybe it like allows him to be a little more artistic. It's like, it's almost like the idea of like, if you're creating something, the idea of going to art school, like, yes, you'll learn a lot of things, but like maybe going to art school almost like creates this very like narrow way of thinking about art, where someone who doesn't go to art school and they just are like creating out of their soul, they don't know all these rules.
Like my Picasso.
Like your Picasso. Yeah. If you would have gone to art school, you never would have created that masterpiece.
No, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I would have stuck straight to doing like a house.
Yeah.
Like we were being kind of told to do.
Yep.
We weren't told to just do a house, but I let it literally just flow through me.
Mm-hmm. You're just a vessel.
I was the vessel.
Yeah. Yeah. You beautiful minded that.
I did.
Yeah.
And it turned out pretty good.
It was beautiful. It is beautiful. Yeah. But anyway,
right, moving on from the weather.
Yeah.
You guys still there? Just kidding. Weather's always important. Or interesting.
Yes.
I actually am hoping to get a new little weather toy.
That you saw that Mike had.
That I saw that Mike had.
Yeah.
So.
Mike, if you're listening.
Mike, send us.
Jim, if you're listening.
Jim. Jim, he was at the weather station not too long ago. He did a tour.
Here in Key West?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
So, all right.
What's next?
I'm drawing a complete blank.
You want to do...
that's what I was going to say.
What?
Some exciting news. We hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
That is very exciting news. That's been a big goal for you.
It has been a big goal for me, which is exciting. And I don't know really what that means. I think now I can like add links into the actual video.
Very cool.
So that's nice because otherwise I haven't been able to do that. Yeah. So like for our house of the week, I could add the link in there when I do it and stuff like that. I think. Don't quote me on that. So what else did we do? I feel like that's it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I had a committee meeting for the Friends of the Key West Library, so that was good. The weather service tour. Oh, and then we went to Marathon.
We did go to Marathon. We went to Marathon yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
It's wild.
Yeah, so we were going for a house that's under contract. Just kind of checking on it, see how they're doing as far as it's just a really punch list because it is kind of a newer house.
Well, it's a new build.
It is a new build, and it was on our inspection that we wanted them to do. Mm-hmm. And it just, once again, it's just punch list stuff that you would kind of finish up regardless. So we went out there and met our spectacular clients out there, and took a look at that, which was a lot of fun. And we left like an hour early because they shut. This is the crazy part. They shut the 7 Mile Bridge down from 6 to 9 in the morning because they were doing some race on it. Mm-hmm. So we left early thinking, okay, there's going to be some major backup. That's what we've read. That's what we've heard. Mm-hmm. If you didn't know what was going on, at least when we went through, which was at like 9:15.
Yeah.
Never would have known it was going on. We went right over there, and we were so ahead of schedule.
I thought it was going to be backed up for miles.
That's what
legitimately.
I thought.
Like,
I kept waiting. I was like, okay, we're going to hit some traffic because it's the only way in and out off, the 7 Mile Bridge.
and they've been like talking about it and trying to spread the word, but I'm like, people are not going to know. Like, people are going to just literally have no clue, and they're just going to get down there and sit there for 3 hours while the bridge is closed or whatever. But no, there wasn't even a bottleneck. Like, there was nothing.
Zero.
Like, you would have no idea.
Like, you would have no clue.
Yeah.
So we stopped at the other side of 7 Mile Bridge in Marathon, where you can ride your bike or walk or run
on the old 7
Mile Bridge,
yeah,
or take the train.
Yeah.
So we stopped there for 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just kind of walk. We were doing a live, and just kind of walked around and thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I actually want to go back and do like the whole thing, go down to Pigeon Key and
be really cool.
It's 2 miles there, 2 miles back, so stretch before you do and bring plenty of water.
Yeah, it's hot. It's very hot.
And it says no pets.
What about daughters?
It's a little ridiculous. Now I'm second guessing actually wanting to do that. Yeah. Anywhere that says no pets, get out of my life.
Yeah, no Gordons.
Get out of my life. We had some sweet, sweet girls.
And they go with us.
Who they haven't hurt nobody.
No. And Winnie has to campaign.
How is Winnie supposed to get the word out that she's essentially, it's already in the bag, but
it's in the bag.
That she's running for mayor?
Yeah.
So that is also what we did.
Yeah.
So that was all a lot of fun.
It was. Yep.
And all of it was fun. Weather station was really cool.
Yes, highly recommend doing that. If you're in town, if you're interested in weather, you do have to give them a little bit of a heads up. They ask for like a 7-day heads up. I'm sure they would accommodate less if they have space, but they do ask for like at least a 7-day heads up. So if you're coming to Key West and you're interested in doing that, we were the only locals there. Everyone else were visitors. So, so I would just reach out to them and see if you can schedule that. It was, 30 minutes, start
30,
to finish.
45 minutes. So once again, you're correct. I thought it was going to be a longer tour. Yeah. So I was a little disappointed in that, not knowing what to expect. Like, I thought that we would be touring the facilities, and that was not the case. So that was a little bit of a letdown. It was still cool, though. It was still cool. So knowing is half the battle.
Sure.
Or 3/4 of the battle, maybe even 5/8.
Yeah.
So that just went down, but it is what it is. Maybe 7/8.
Yeah.
But it was cool nonetheless. And then we went and ate at Louis' backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Yum, 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 yum.
We did go eat at Louis' backyard.
All worth it.
I love going there, like, for lunch, not because of the menu necessarily, but just because of the
ambiance.
The ambiance, yeah. We sat outside. It was absolutely beautiful. Yeah. I think I definitely would say that I like their dinner menu better than their lunch menu.
Yeah.
Now, our food was good. It wasn't that it was bad. And I would definitely still say, like, go there, but I would
dinner menu is a little bit bigger.
You mean like more things to choose from? Yeah. And just like, at least in our experience, just like better. I don't know, like just kind of seemed a little more like, it's hard to explain. I haven't been a huge fan of the lunch.
Yeah. We've been
menu.
like 3 times for lunch.
And every time I go, I'm kind of like,
I got a burger.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was good. It was better than the last burger.
It's okay.
But for Louis, I wouldn't I'm not like, oh my God, go to Louis for that burger.
No. But I would say if you
But it was very good, Mr. Louis.
Yeah, well, and also we are gluten free. So, if there's 20 things that you can choose from and we can pick out 3, right? That limits. So that has to weigh in partially too, but also like you can go sit at the bar right there on the deck and you can get an appetizer. Yeah. Like get an appetizer and a cocktail and just enjoy the experience. Cause to me, that's the big, at least at lunchtime, the bigger draw is the experience.
Especially like for being like on the water, a lot of those restaurants that are just right there on the water aren't as good. It's more of like, oh, we're on the water.
Right. It's a shtick. The shtick is that they're on the water. The food is sort of an afterthought kind of.
But they're on the water and sorry guys. Everyone just yawned. And they have pretty good food. Yeah. Dinner was I agree with you though. Our Thanksgiving Day dinner that we ate there, we've only eaten there for that dinner, right?
Yeah.
That was very good.
It was very good. Yeah. Lunch. It's fine.
Fine.
I would go there.
Yeah.
go there.
I mean, it's a really cool location.
Yes. Yeah. Because you can go to Dog Beach too, which is literally right there. So, which is really nice. And yeah, so, but that was fun. Definitely go to the weather thing if you're interested in weather, National Weather Service in Key West.
Yeah, and you don't have to plan a ton of time for that. They kind of started on time for the most part.
Yeah.
And
you just go there for that and then go to lunch.
All depends on how many times people ask questions, how many questions are asked.
One of the groups had a little boy with us, or with them too. He was probably 10-ish, you think? And he had a lot of questions. And so, like, also, if you have a child who's interested in weather, it was an interesting, he had some good questions, and it was cool. So if you have a kid who's interested, that could be a cool, free, interesting kid AC activity to do while you're on the island. If you want to entertain them.
And then, did I say today we're going to Mangoes for the paint?
You mentioned,
we already talked about that. So
so we'll see how that is.
Yeah. All right. Cool. What a great week. Give me some.
Nailed it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, come back in over here. Blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
All right. So, oh no, guys, we're just tired.
Sorry.
We had a late night, or long night last night. So we're sleepy. I'm actually very tired right now. This coffee is not doing nothing.
Not doing
I'm thinking maybe a little nap before Mangoes.
Yep.
May not make it through the painting. I was to be a Greg face on there.
It's like the smear.
Smear. What do you call this? Gregism.
Greg Casso.
Greg Casso.
To go with your Picasso.
Yeah, well, I'll have to do a Win Casso and a Nye Casso.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to do 2 paintings.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. I'm about to yawn. This is a riveting podcast, guys. We're putting ourselves to sleep. Whew. That didn't help.
Pull it together, Greg.
Come on, Greg. Snap out of it. What's going on this week?
What is going on this week? I'm glad you asked.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Okay, so there's only like a few things that are on this Key West calendar. So I'm just going to talk about all of them because there's only a few and they kind of all like are a little bit different. So the first one is the Red Barn Theater's Short Attention Span Theater.
Sign me up.
One of Red Barn Theater's favorites each year is the Short Attention Span Theater. It's a funny and fast-paced evening filled with pertinent and hilarious short plays, helmed by a group of directors guiding a big handful of favorite Key West actors. You never know what you'll see next at Short Attention Span Theater, and you can order tickets online or at the box office, and showtime's at 8 p.m. And this is located at 319 Duval Street, and that runs April 4th through the 9th. So I thought that sounded kind of fun. Like
8 p.m.?
Yeah, it's for the youths.
Golly, what are we, 20?
All right, so April 6th is the Studios of Key West First Thursday Open House is what they call it. So the public is welcome for the April First Thursday Open House event when the studios keeps its lights on late and doors open to celebrate the newest work in all of its galleries. Stop in to say hello, relax with a glass of wine on the rooftop terrace toward the 3rd floor artist studios, and see the just installed April gallery exhibitions by artists Bria and Sarah, Leif and Lauren Ilvetson, David Berg, and Horace O'Brien students. It's 6 to 8 p.m. at 533 Eaton Street, and it is free. So that's what we're going to, because Leif and Lauren, that's when they're opening their exhibition.
The Ilvetson brothers.
The Ilvetson brothers, who gave us...
donated to our giveaway.
Our 50,000 follower giveaway on TikTok, and we often walk by their studio, and they have like a little postcard thing on Whitehead Street. So we walk past that, so you've heard us mention them if you follow us on TikTok. And yeah, so we're really excited for them because that's like a big deal that they have these new exhibits that are going to be showing for the entire month of April. So even if you can't make it to the opening on April 6th, definitely stop by the studios when you're in town, and you'll be able to see their... Yeah, it's on Thursday. So, yes. And then the studios of Key West, Robert Capa and the Hemingway Image. So this is the same night, but this starts at 4. So this is 4 to 5:30 at the studios, and then
they're really cramming it in there.
The first Thursday open house is from 6 to 8. So Brian
Carso explores the complicated relationship between preeminent war photographer Robert Capa and Ernest Hemingway, whom he met during the Spanish Civil War. Carso's illustrated lecture offers compelling insights into the creation of the Hemingway image, both the recognizable pictorial image and the hyper-masculine reputation that informs the popular conception of Hemingway. Tickets to this are $20, and again, it starts at 5:30. Afterwards, stay for the first Thursday open house to explore the new April exhibitions in the studios. Again, this is at the studios at 533 Eaton Street. So that sounds really cool, because if you're into Hemingway, you understand like his hyper masculine image and the fact that like a lot of the lore surrounding him, I think, is very curated, you know. So a lot of good PR, I guess, maybe around him, but that would be really interesting. And then April 8th, so this is the last thing for this week, the Keys Concerts by Candlelight, Classic Rock versus Classics That Rock. So the concert, played by string quartet, is a unique musical experience that features classic rock songs by Led Zeppelin, Queen, the Beatles, and David Bowie, and classical music by Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, and more. The intimate evening of music is led by the Southernmost Chamber Music Society member and violinist Irie Monte, and is hosted by comedian Steve Crane. It's at the Tennessee Williams Theater Cabaret at 5901 College Street. So I thought that sounded kind of cool too. Like if you're into chamber music, like we talked about last week or whatever it was. Music. Yeah, if you're into chamber music, classic rock, classics, whatever, that could be cool. So, and then the studios, and then the Red Barn Theater. Yep. So some cool kind of art stuff going on the island. Artsy stuff.
We're artists.
We are.
We're going to do some paintings soon.
Mm-hmm. To add to our art collection.
Yeah. Well, we're going to run out of wall space.
With all of our works of art.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, very cool. Yep. You know what time it is?
Is it that time?
Would you like to do the introduction?
House of the Week.
Oh.
Was that good?
Yeah. It's kind of like this, though. House of the Week.
Too loud.
Too loud?
Yeah. You know I don't like loud stuff.
House of the Week, guys. We kind of touched on it last week just a little bit, but it was not our House of the Week.
Yes.
And we like to do this one because it is more affordable. It's right at the $650 price range.
It is.
It technically has a Key West address.
Yep.
And it is out at the golf course, Key West Golf Course. Yes. So, Stephanie, what's the info on this one?
So the address is 28 Merganser Lane. It's Merganser if you want to Google it.
Or maybe click on the link.
Or click on the link, yes. So like Greg said, it's listed at $649,000. And it is in the Key West Golf Course, which if you're familiar with Key West, it's not technically in Key West proper. It's kind of more like Stock Island area, but it does have a Key West address, and the neighborhood is very nice. It's a cute little golf course neighborhood back there, and there are a lot of people who own in there who do also vacation rental their condos or their homes in there. And so like, although it is not in Key West proper, it is certainly a place where vacation rental income is a possibility. Yeah.
10 minutes, not even.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a 2-1. Is it 2-1? Huh. I thought it had another bathroom, but nope. It's a 2-1. It's 1,437 square feet. Built in 1995.
How many square feet?
1,437. Sorry, I'm lying.
No, I thought it was
No, 780.
Okay.
That's the lot size. I was just reading
We're sleepy, guys.
Sorry, guys. It's 780 square feet. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and the lot size is 1,437 square feet. Thanks for saying that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Glad I did my research beforehand.
Yes, I'm glad too. It is an end unit. It's actually quite cute. It's adorable.
It needs a little updating.
It has a lot of curb appeal, I think. Yeah. And the outside back, I love outside areas. Like that's a big selling
down here
point.
In the Keys,
yes.
Man.
So
you know it, man.
Very cute, like covered outside back porch area. And yes, I do believe that the inside could definitely use some updating. Nothing that makes it unlivable by any stretch, but like
no.
I'd put in new floors. I'd probably bare minimum like refinish the kitchen cabinets. They look like they're solid, but I
I would probably
Maybe
like
some
paint them
new
or
paint.
something. Maybe new countertops, new backsplash, probably new appliances. I mean, it's a small enough space. It wouldn't be like super expensive, like change out the light fixtures,
Yep.
change out, like just modernize it a little bit. But again, nothing that you couldn't immediately move into. And heck, I mean, if you bought it specifically to do vacation rentals, you could leave it exactly as is. And, so it's a cute little spot. If you wanted to buy it for you, again, small enough footprint, it wouldn't be crazy to do some renovations and update it a little bit, but cute little place.
But it's in definitely a more affordable price
Absolutely.
for Key West.
Absolutely. We get a
It's
lot
pretty
of
much
those questions. Oh, can I get something for
2.5
$750?
times
Can I get something?
cheaper than the average sale price.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So it's a cute little spot. Definitely interesting.
Cool.
I would say, if it sounds like it could be a fit for you. So yeah, if you're interested in that, if you want to talk about that, reach
Let
out.
us know. Reach out to us. Email us. Whatever. Stephanie, what was that?
What was what?
What was that? That was a
That was the house of the week.
nailed it.
I did it quieter though.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
You learned so quick.
Mm-hmm. I'm a quick study.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Is that it? Nap time?
I feel like it might be. I'm just tired. Yeah, I'm
I know.
tired. I feel like I want to at least just rest a little bit before we go for our painting class.
And we gotta cook a little meal.
And we're gonna have a little bit of fish. Your fresh catch.
Well, it's my fish from a month ago, but
Oh, well, it's been in the freezer. What are we having with the fish?
I think I got green beans and fries.
Fish and chips and green beans.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. Oh, we did cook some of the fish from earlier this week that you caught.
Yep.
The mackerel.
Mackerel.
The mackerel, like Greg was saying, very good, but I made a gluten-free hush puppy, and those were very good.
They were very good. Very tasty.
Yes, I made them just from scratch, and I had all the ingredients already, and they were very good, very easy to make. So highly recommended if you are gluten-free to Google like a gluten-free. I think I Googled gluten-free hush puppy recipe, and it was like the most popular, like the highest rated one that
it was
popped
very
up in
good.
Google.
Yeah.
Very easy, simple
We
ingredients.
didn't have a dip.
No.
I mean, a dip would
A dip would be good.
enhance it,
Like an aioli or something
Yeah.
would be delicious. Yeah,
but it was still really good.
it was
without
very
it.
good. Yeah, so if you're in the market for a gluten-free hush puppy, just try one off the internet. Turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
The only thing with those, I think, is
You gotta cook them a little longer.
well, yeah, but also figuring out, and I always feel this way, figuring out the right temperature to cook them. Because like if the oil's too hot, then they get like really done on the outside, and then they're like gooey on the inside.
More so with gluten-free stuff. than
Yeah, it makes it a little more
The
challenging.
glutinous.
Yeah, but once you find the right temperature, those were delish. So yeah, that's it.
Cool.
I think.
Yep.
If we forgot anything, we'll tell you next week.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know what's going on with you guys. And once again, we're real estate agents here in the Florida Keys, so reach out if you need us to help you sell your home or find you a home.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and
Almost.
yeah, almost. The rentals, we're still working on it.
Yep.
Coming up. So if you have a property in the Keys, the mid to lower Keys, Key West, that you'd like some help with property management, vacation rentals, we'd love to talk to you about it.
Yep.
And if you're looking for a place to rent, stand by.
Yep.
We'll have something soon.
Alrighty.
All right.
See
That's
you
it.
guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.